All right. I think we are live. Let me jump over to Rumble. Yeah, it looks like we're live. I don't know how to see chats on Rumble, though. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. What is up, folks? This is Cali based episode number 2. I got my buddy. We're just gonna call. Well, his name's Justin, but we're just gonna call him new user because I
New
had to.
user.
I told him to sign up for Twitter, and he didn't come up with any fancy name, and it just gave him new user, and I kind of like it. So we're just gonna run with it. So what's up, Justin? How you been, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Chilling. Can't complain. How you been?
Fucking great, man. We haven't talked for I don't know a couple weeks, but yeah, I haven't seen you in person since you cut your dreads. So
Oh, no, for real. And that was a little while ago now.
that
I
was a
feel
big
like
event,
I feel like COVID hit it was like a time warp. Like like from like 2020 till now kind of sped by for me, man. It's crazy.
bro. I was making jokes in the very beginning of it. I was like, bro, you cut your dreads, and
And
then
released
COVID
it.
happened. Yeah, I was like,
I remember that. Hey, I remember that, bro. That was a cold one. Straight dick.
that was
That was
rough.
funny though.
It's not funny now. It's not funny.
No, but
No,
what's
because
up though, man?
that
Hey,
was
I,
before it
I
was even
haven't
the
seen you or
thing.
talked to you, but man, we stay texting, so we're still tapped in.
Yeah, well, we have long chats on the phone too. So that's why I wanted to do this with you, because so we could have actual, topics to talk about. Because we always just go off on tangents. But, bro, there's a
Yeah,
million things going on in the world, and a million things I want to
always.
get your opinion on. Um, we were gonna start off talking about all these. Well, we'll still go in that direction. There was just another shooting in LA, though.
I just seen
But
that too. I saw a little bit of that at the Trader Joe's.
yeah, it doesn't look like a mass shooting though. This looks like some sort of beef to me.
Yeah,
Some white
yeah.
people beef too.
They barely gave any details, but he said white people beef.
Oh yeah, because it's
At
like a
Trader
40.
Joe's.
Oh well, a 45-year-old man is dead, and like 3 other people got shot. It looks like they all know each other, and they said the suspect may be
Oh
known
wow.
to the victims, and it was a white dude, and he kind of looked like, trailer park type guy. So
Okay,
I'm
I didn't
not
read
trying to
that.
judge. Don't be racist, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't read that far into it. I just saw the headline kind of in the little short article. It was kind of tight lipped saying they didn't know any motives or anything.
Yeah, no, I got a little tinfoily, so you know, just had to. All right, well, we won't even. Yeah, because I want to talk. I do want to talk to you about the Nashville shooting and stuff like that, but we'll just start off talking about the reparations in San Francisco.
He said,
So
"Let's jump into it."
yeah, well, dude, just because it's so ridiculous and it's hilarious, and I almost want it to happen. Just like, did you see how much it's supposed to cost each citizen of San Francisco? Like, if it goes through, how much it would cost each person?
I didn't see each person, but I saw something I saw like a the grand number of it was like 800 something.
I think it's like 160 grand, like per person, but
Oh
still,
wow.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's insane. But I mean, all right, so yeah, what do
And
you
that's
know about it? Do you know the
but hold on. So
requirements?
but hold on. So that 160 is paid over what amount of time though?
No, it's that's not how it'll work. It's not like, you know, they're going to increase taxes to come up with this money. I don't know where this money is going to come from. Like, nobody knows where this money is going to come from.
The
It's going to
same the
come from
same place the same place any money ever comes from that they dish out. Same
where?
place the money for Ukraine came from.
No, because this is our state. This is the city of San Francisco. We don't have a
And
money
that's
printer,
true. Oh, that is
So
true.
unless it's coming from Gavin Newsom's slush fund or Nancy Pelosi's refrigerator, I mean,
Pelosi, she's gonna have to scale back on all that money she's been giving Bart.
what is she doing with them?
They're always giving Bart left and rights, giving them handouts. Bart ridership has to have gone down especially since all the work from home and remote jobs. Bart ridership definitely isn't what it was.
Bro, it was bad when I was riding BART, like, I don't know, 15, almost 20 years ago now. Like, it was bad back then. People peeing on BART and shit, you
Nah,
know?
horrible. I haven't rode in like 2 years. If I go to the city, I still would rather catch Bart because you know how parking is out there.
Yeah, no, well, I'm on this side. So if I go to the Giants game, I'd rather take Caltrain, and
You
then
got to. It don't make sense to try and find parking.
Yeah, it's no good. But all right, so what do you know about the reparations crap? Like, what details
Uh,
do you know?
honestly, I don't know. I don't know much because everything is contradictory. It depends on who's writing the article and at what time they feel like writing it during the day. But from what I do know, they're saying that San Francisco seems to be the forerunner for it, which is kind of crazy in a sense.
Well, yeah, they're the only city that's talking about doing it, and there's like requirements. They're they got it all laid out. Like there's actual details and stuff. It's like they're talking about giving each person $5 million that's
5 million.
eligible for it.
That's yeah, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna
But
see me in some blackface, Justin.
it's all about what you identify as, right? What do you identify? That's like the word of the decade right now is what do you identify, identity.
Well, it's
So,
funny you say that. That is one of the requirements. As long as you identified as black for the
but it
last
had
10 years.
so you already missed out on that, buddy.
What do you What do you mean?
For the
Oh
last
yeah,
10 years, like you would have
yeah.
had yeah. I'm sure that
Well,
off already came.
I wonder if you could skew that because you know how it says like choose not to answer on public documents because that's what the
Yeah,
requirement is. You have to say on public documents.
like
Man,
more
so
complicated.
I could have just been
What
lying this whole time.
could have been. Could have been. It's all see to me even the topic of race is very touch and go because especially out here in America, right? Everybody's so mixed with this and that. So if you're basing it just on skin color and all that, like race is really touchy. But don't get me wrong, I'm not against reparations though.
Oh boy.
If it's a handout, it's a handout. I'll take it.
Well, uh, well, yeah. I mean, of course, you're gonna take any money that's given to you, but I mean, really, 5 minutes?
In
Like,
in the
how
grand scheme,
how is this supposed to work logistically? Like, really? Like, okay. So here's the requirements. They say you got to be 18 years or older, identify as black for the last 10 years on a public document, or actually also displaced or a descendant of somebody who was displaced from the SF Urban Renewal. And they called it something different the last time I read it. Last time I read it, I swear they called it something. I swear they called it like a descendant of somebody that was incarcerated. Like you were incarcerated or you're a descendant of somebody that was incarcerated. So they changed the verbiage since the last time I read it. And then each
incarcerated for
person,
anything. So that's not even specified. Like incarcerated for what? Like, it's just
yeah. Well, I think it says like the war on drugs or something like that. But that they changed the verbiage since then, so it doesn't say that anymore. Now it says displaced by the SF Urban Renewal, whatever that is. So,
yeah.
but each person is eligible for 5 million. There's also financial debt forgiveness. So, like these are the things that I didn't know about that are just like kickers. Financial debt forgiveness, guaranteed annual income, and homes in San Francisco for $1.
For $1. Like
For $1.
literally says $1.
$1.
Nah, that's
Why not
so
$1.50?
so is this what's been put forward to San Francisco, to the city, or is this what the city themselves are putting out there to the people?
They got a whole committee. Yeah, it's the city. So this is for specifically the city of San Francisco. And yeah, they have like a whole committee and they're trying to vote on it and get it passed. And if passed, in theory, everybody would get a check. I don't know if it would be one giant check or it would come over the course of time.
I wish I was from the city right now.
Well, I mean,
I wish I was from San Francisco right now.
well, the funny thing is, the way things are going with I don't know if you're following any of the BRIC stuff with all the other nations and like getting off the petrodollar. By the time all this stuff happens, if it does, whatever. Dollar might not be worth anything anyway.
No, right? They got all these nations trying to team up right now. It's definitely the next 5 years, even probably less, is going to show a whole lot when just in international affairs, we get lost in our day to day and in our, the U.S. affairs, but it's a lot bigger things at play going on right now.
Well, yeah, they're going after the dollar. They're trying to tank. So like that. Well, anyway, I don't want to go off on that one too much, but
right.
Yeah, the dollar is being attacked right now. Like the only thing that's propping up the dollar is the fact that everybody has to buy oil in the dollar. like all the world has to trade in the dollar when they buy oil. When all the BRICS nations, so China, Russia, I believe it's Saudi Arabia, might even be
Saudi
Peru
Arabia,
now,
South
Brazil.
Africa, India.
Yeah. So all of them they're no longer going to be trading in. I mean, what happened to Gaddafi and well, Saddam Hussein too, right? Because he was trying to have his own gold-backed currency, or I think it was
I didn't know.
gold-backed.
I didn't know that about Saddam. I thought Saddam's whole issue was. Yeah, I didn't know that about Saddam. I just remember them
I
trying
think
to say he had all those mass weapons and all that.
Oh yeah, well that was our excuse, but I think Saddam was trying to get off the dollar too. But all right, back to the reparations really quick. So,
for sure, yeah.
So California's never had slaves. There's never
was a slave state, right?
San Francisco, obviously, same thing. How can you possibly be for this?
So, yeah, no, I get you on that, but I think so they're saying just the discrimination and the hardships that came with all that, the Jim Crow errors and all that. I guess the can't get a loan for housing and all those discriminatory things that took place. I think that's what they're trying to right the wrongs of. I think they're trying to right the wrongs of that, so to say. And there's ways to do it. And again, I get both sides of the argument, though. I get the people who are like, "Hey, we ain't had nothing to do with this. Where is it coming from?" But at the end of the day, how I feel is that even if you feel like that, don't be a hater. If it comes, it comes. I feel like people shouldn't stand in the way of it.
Well, on that note, I kind of hope it happens. I think it's going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be hilarious if a bunch of Scarlett, get out of here. Sorry, my dog's trying to invade my space. I think it'd be hilarious.
My daughter's in the background yelling my name. I hear. Hopefully, y'all can't hear.
Can you imagine how wild it's going to get? All of a sudden, there's just tons of people with millions of dollars. All of a sudden, just running around, going wild.
I mean, how responsible are people with the money they got now? People aren't responsible already. So, I mean, it's just going to get thrown right back into circulation, and it's almost like. Because I hear a lot of people that are against it, but again, the money's for the most part, unfortunately, would just go right back into the economy as far as consumership. It's not going to be too many. I highly doubt it would be a lot of buying land, buying buildings, property, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know. I just think it'd be hilarious because it's going to be all of a sudden you've got millionaires poof out of nowhere, and they're going to have no. It's going to be a ton of lottery winners out of nowhere. And what happened with lottery winners? Lottery winners notoriously
go broke.
Yeah, like they don't have they pull Allen Iverson.
Go buy that fat house and that car and then
they do it Allen Iverson, right?
And then they're done. So many players, hey man, don't put AI out there like that. Allen Iverson was my guy.
Hey, I love Allen Iverson, but
let's Paul Pierce it. Let's say no, not Paul Pierce. The other guy, Antoine Walker. You heard of him from the Celtics?
No, but the Allen Iverson story is sad because it was more like his friends taking advantage of him. Kind of, he wanted to go everywhere with his entourage.
That's how it always is. The more people is leeches. That's the best way to put it.
That sucks, man. I mean, I get it too. I'd want my boys to go everywhere with me, but.
Yeah, but they gotta at least give them a job to do something to keep the money, trying to get them they're just reaching their hand out all the time. Like, at some point you gotta cut them off. I'll cut you off, Mike.
I would too. I mean, I wonder what's gonna happen with Floyd Mayweather. It's like, how much money is he burn on a daily basis?
He does, but I think that I think he's invested in a lot as well, though. I think Floyd's invested in a lot. I'm tired of seeing him fight, man. He fought like a month ago out of nowhere. I didn't even know about it. He fought like a month ago, on I don't even know who it was. It was like an ex-kickboxer. It was an exhibition fight.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I don't remember the guy's name or nothing. It wasn't even sold out or nothing, I heard.
I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I mean, I guess so no, I get where you're coming from. Like, I ain't gonna be a hater if they decide to do the reparations things, but I can't speak for other people. Definitely.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
if they did some sort of national reparations thing, that would be different because then they would be printing money. But let's
see. That's what I think. and that's where I think it should come from. Is not it's a lot of layers to peel back on that, right? Because if you go state by state, that's one thing, but that's hard, man. Again, it's a lot of layers to peel back because you have slave states, you have the northern states who weren't slave states, but same time they were sending slaves back here and there. So I mean, who knows? And then it goes into the whole spiel of trying to have to prove that you came from a slave and all of this. And it's I hate the slave talk myself because it's just, in my opinion, it's victim talk, man. That's how I look at it. It's really it happened, okay, but every race pretty much fell victim to slavery at one point or another.
Oh, well, that's spicy.
That's facts.
That won't. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, that's facts. Pretty much every okay. What the word is slave itself comes from Slav. So
that is right, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny. I just learned that not too long ago.
Yeah, but the first thing you think about when you hear it is you think of slavery in America. So
aren't Slavics considered people of color? Like people from Poland, aren't they considered no, Poland's not Slavs.
Possibly, and that's why I said it's a lot of layers to peel back, because even at a certain point in time, the Chinese in America were considered colored. So it's a lot of layers. The term black itself is just a label. It's not like a people. You know what I mean? So
the term people of color to me is hilarious because it's like, wait a minute, how is that not? Wasn't it bad?
It's all like semantics, because nobody's even black, right? You look at me, you'll be like, oh, that black guy, but it's clearly my skin's brown. But then when you say brown people, you think of a Mexican, right? It's all over the place, and that's just indoctrination, in my opinion.
I just say black guy. I don't know.
Exactly.
Everybody calls me racist anyway, so I don't care anymore.
Your shirt's black, right? And how many people do you know as dark as your shirt?
My shirt's blue, okay? And all shirts matter, Justin.
All shirts matter. Black shirts matter, Mike.
Yeah, why is my shirt got to be black, bro? It's blue.
No, but seriously, okay? So look, even so you've heard of MENA, right? The MENA, Middle East, North Africa. So so on the census they have a thing like MENA. So basically, if you're from the Middle East or North Africa, you're automatically considered white. So no matter if you're dark skinned, no matter if you're a brown skin like me, you're considered white. Like, you should look it up one time. There's a lot of people out. Like, there's an Egyptian dude. His name was Mustafa Hefni, and he fought for the longest. This was like early 2000s or late 90s, and he was fighting just to be labeled black when they were telling him, like, nah, by our standards, you're white. When he was clear as day a black African from Egypt. And
so he was just fighting, telling people to call him black. Don't call
me
white.
He wanted to be labeled black. He felt like, I'm a black man. I don't want to be labeled white. It's all, that's where the census comes in too, right? It's all about boosting numbers and all that. Keep black people as minorities, keep all the other races as minorities, and trying to boost the white numbers. But that's a real thing. Mina, you should look into it.
I don't know anything about that. All right, enough with all this race talk. It's annoying.
Yeah, you're racist.
You're racist. Remember, bro, we had like a 4-year debate on whether black people could be racist or not. That was funny.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus.
What?
Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks.
What is that?
Oh, you gotta watch Uncle Ruckus, man. Or you never watched the Boondocks, huh?
No. I follow Black Twitter though.
The Black Twitter. You gotta watch the Boondocks. It's hilarious. You'll love it.
I remember that show. I remember that show from back in the day.
Look, there's a character, Uncle Ruckus. So he was born a white man, and he had a skin condition that turned him into a black man. So he's really he's a racist white man, but his skin's black. So
like Clayton Bigsby
character. Yeah.
Is that where Dave Chappelle got it from? Did he steal it from that?
Possibly.
That's messed up, Dave.
Or vice versa, because I don't know what came out first.
Damn. Scarlet out. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about equally. Well, this is just a horrible subject altogether. It's definitely not any better, but we had another one. We had another school shooting, Nashville. So
Nashville, yeah, that's horrible.
yeah. So it was a 28-year-old white chick born. I'm saying it's a chick because I do not care about her pronouns because she murdered 6 people, 3 of them 9-year-old children. 28-year-old female, identified as male. I don't know what surgery or whatever, or meds or testosterone or whatever she was on to go through any sort of process. But yeah, she went in there, and from all reports and what it looks like in the videos, she had 3 firearms. I don't know your background with firearms. I don't have a huge extensive background, but the gun that she used apparently was a Kel-Tec Sub 2000, which is a
No idea.
it's a 9mm carbine, which is basically like a Glock rifle.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more familiar, like a Glock, right?
You know, it's not an AR. It's not an AR platform by any stretch of the imagination. It's not what anyone would call an assault weapon. Well, they probably would because it's black and scary and it has a pistol grip. You know, like
yeah, I can see why they say that then.
But so that's the weapon that she had, but she also had, strangely, because it's the weapon that everybody's going after right now, that she had was called an AR pistol, which is it's basically a short barrel AR with it's called what do they call it? I think they call it a brace, and it's like meant to put your hand through it, and it goes around your forearm. But you can use it as a stock.
As a stock, you know? Yeah, I got you.
So it's like the way around some short barrel rifle law. I don't know. You can't have them in California anyway, so it doesn't. I don't know anything about them. But she happened to have one of those apparently as well. I guess she didn't use it. Good. I guess she didn't have time because those cops handled business. I don't know if you saw the footage, but yeah, she also had a Smith & Wesson Shield, which is just a 9mm pistol, pretty standard 9mm pistol. But yeah, that's a Christian school. She targeted other schools first, but she didn't go to them because they had armed security.
Wow. So that leaves it to all schools should be armed now, or what?
You tell me. Like what?
That's
pretty much the cliff notes on what happened. I mean, and then so you remember the Uvalde shooting, right? Cops standing around for 2 hours or whatever it was.
Nobody wanted to go in there. Yeah,
bro. Like all those dudes should be in prison. But did you see this footage of the Nashville shooting, or not the shooting, the Nashville, the cop footage?
No, I didn't see any footage. I've read up on it though, but I didn't see the actual footage. It's hard even like to keep consuming that type of media coverage. Is like,
I know, I get it. Yeah, I'm built for
at times, you know.
Yeah, but I'm built for like being down in the filth with all the horrible things. So I do it so you don't have to. But you should watch this footage because it's cops putting down a bad guy and doing it in pretty awesome fucking fashion. Like,
so they reacted all that. So they reacted right away.
Oh, dude. So it's the body cam footage of, I don't know what officer it was, but I mean, rolls up, gets his rifle, you know, teacher's outside or some administrators tells him where the shooter is, or tells him that school's locked down. Where I think she said where she thinks the shooter is, and they go in and they start clearing rooms. And I think it was like 4 or 5 officers, and the precision these dudes were working with, like, I don't know how well these particular officers knew each other, how much they trained together, but these dudes, like, it looked like, you know, choreographed for a movie. Like these guys knew what the hell they were doing. You know, they go in, go ahead. What's that?
No, I said that's what's up. That's good that they acted.
Oh yeah, and so fast, just immediately. And I mean, you see the body cam footage. Cop rolls up, gets out of his car, goes to the back of it, opens his bag, freaking pulls out his AR, chambers around, and he's ready to go. I mean, I don't know. He probably didn't have plates either. Like he probably, you know, and so an AR-15 round is. Do you know much about AR-15 rounds versus like a 9mm or whatever?
I just know what AR-15 is. I don't know much about all that.
The AR round, it's actually smaller than a 9mm, but it's got a lot more powder. It's a lot hotter round. It travels a lot faster, so it's going to go through a vest. but
Okay.
there's plates that you can get that'll stop it. But I don't think cops just walk around in plates. They walk around in a vest that'll stop like a 9mm, like
Right,
small
like
arms.
Kevlar, right? It's something a
Yeah.
little more lightweight.
So I don't think these guys had plates. I would guess they didn't, and that's was like the whole excuse that the Uvalde cops had, is that they didn't have plates, that everybody was waiting around. All the interviews, like a bunch of this footage came out last week of the Uvalde cops being interviewed. Like I think it was
They were
before the
all saying the
Nashville
same
shooting.
thing.
They're all just pathetic cowards, just disgusting, pathetic cowards making excuses for why they didn't go in. And it's just, dude, there was like hundreds of officers there. And
And they should get stripped of their job for that, because you sign up to be a cop. I mean, that comes with the territory. You're just trying to go there for a good salary and think you're going to give out speeding tickets and do traffic stops. Like, come on, man. Like, that's
and
again, you signed up for that. So
yeah, and you and I are both not the biggest fans of the cops, but these Nashville dudes,
I like how
these
you slow
Nashville,
that.
they handled business like quickly. So they go in, they start clearing rooms, and seriously, the precision that they're clearing rooms with is pretty badass. I mean, I got a little gay for it. They one guy just communicating through like patting each other on the shoulders and stuff. I'm not a tactical guy, so this stuff looks really
like all the movie type shit. Yeah,
it looked really cool to me. I'm not a tactical guy, so I'm like, oh, these guys are badass. So so they clear a bunch of rooms, and then they hear gunshots, and they realize it's upstairs, and they just stop clearing rooms. Boom, go straight towards the gunfire, and they're hauling ass upstairs. And I don't know who shot, but it was from a distance. It was probably like 50. Nah, it probably wasn't that far. It always looks farther from the body cam, but it was probably only like 100 feet or something like that. But I mean, they put that bitch down quick. Like,
and for her to target a kid's school like that is like, come on, that's just it's a
dude,
mental illness, man. That's really you said what?
No, just what you're saying. Like, how the fuck can you?
That's mentally ill, but I mean that goes into the whole. I'm gonna say what I say, but that goes into the whole gender identity and all that. It all comes down to mental illness, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. But again, that's I mean, everybody that's shooting up schools, of course, I mean, they're not misidentifying themselves and all that, but still, it's just it's your picture though. Like all these, in order to shoot up a school, you're mentally ill for sure.
Well, she went to that school, and she clearly targeted a Christian school. And they're not releasing the manifesto. They still haven't released the manifesto. Like, she called a friend before, and she said, like, I'm going to do some horrific shit, basically. And
right, I did. I saw that.
Yeah, and I left enough evidence behind for them to figure out what happened. And it's like, so, and they already said there's a manifesto, like, clear laid out why she did it or whatever, and they're not releasing it for whatever reason. And then the whole, like, it almost seems like the backlash after a trans person targets a Christian school and kills Christian kids. It's like the backlash is on the Christian community.
How was that? Why do you say it's on them?
Because it's like the trans community is like acting like they were targeted, or like they're being attacked now. Like, there's this whole trans day of rage thing that was supposed to happen.
I've seen that coming and going from there.
And afterwards, there's just the reaction from a lot of people online. It was a lot of the reactions were basically like, yeah, it's horrific that there was another school shooting and it was kids, but they're Christian. Like that, that felt like the tone of it. It was almost like, well, it doesn't matter as much, because they were like white Christian kids. And this is a trans person, so she should have sympathy more for the person and try to figure out why she did this. And it's like, no, me speaking, like, when you get to the point,
that's never the case for any other school shooter, you know what I mean, or any other mass shooter. So, like, nobody.
You're past feelings. We're past trying to.
Like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, you did what you did. Like, whatever people go through shit every day. So, you know what I mean? To say like, oh, had a hard time in life. I was going through blah 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 yada yada. Like that's a bullshit cop out. Like you can't give nobody that. Like that's just a horrific crime.
Well, there you go.
Like right, like that's all it is.
Yeah, no, you took the words out of my mouth. It's just when you get to the point where you can look at it, when you can look at anybody that's just innocent and just kill them in cold blood, but a child, a fucking 9-year-old child,
yeah. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to just killing somebody, man. Just to have the mindset like I'm gonna take this person off the earth. I'm about to delete you,
dude.
Just that's
imagine
insane, right? So
even like somebody, say somebody's trying to kill you and you stop them. You know, like say you're way stronger than them and like way more powerful, whatever. So it's easy to stop them.
Yeah.
But they're legit trying to kill you, you know. But it's almost like funny because they're so pathetic, but they're legit trying to kill you. You're not going to kill that person, you know. Probably
if
not.
If you have that restraint. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like if in self-defense, it's a little different story, right? Because you fighting for your life, it's whatever at that point.
But the point is like even when somebody's trying to kill you, you don't want to kill another person. So it's like when you get to the point when you get to the point where you're so off the rocker that you're willing to kill a child in cold blood that you,
yeah,
I'm not concerned about how you got there. Like, I don't want to talk about your bad childhood. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You taking lives. You ever heard that Damian Marley song? I know you like reggae. You ever heard that song Gunman?
Probably.
Yeah, you should check it out, Damian Marley. But he talks about like how does a gunman sleep at night? You know, taking lives and AB doing all this. Like how do you sleep at night after being so cold blooded? But
well, I guess there's a whole. You talk to people that were in war, that
See, that's a little. See, I think that's a little different too, though. Like, yeah, it still stays with them. Like, I get you on that because my grandfather was in the Navy.
But yeah, how could you be like a?
But somebody
like a hitman?
Yeah, hitman, or you got people, you got murders every day going on in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's like there's people out here killing left and right. Like gun violence is big out here. I mean, I'm all for gun ownership. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for that. But it's a responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, huge. Yeah, definitely a huge responsibility. But that responsibility does not lie with the government whatsoever. Oh, all right. You know what? I got. Well, no. Remind me to read some chats after this. Hey, mate. Nice to see you guys. You guys are awesome. I need to jump over.
Yeah. I watched your interview with him. That was dope.
Yeah, he's cool.
He has some fire questions for you.
He's part of the FMU, the Forest Mommy Universe. It's
okay, for sure.
A bunch of very cool people that I met, and they brought me in. They brought me into the club, and it makes me feel welcome. Yeah. Sorry, just got me super sidetracked. You're all for gun rights, but there's a huge responsibility comes along with having it. Yes, but it ain't the government's responsibility. It's community's responsibility, family responsibility.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, so okay. So the mental health thing. Now there's people on the right that call themselves like 2A absolutists that are trying to say that trans people shouldn't be allowed to have guns because of this. And it's funny because it's almost like a reversal, like now, now the right's calling for, I don't know how many people are actually calling for it, but, and like you said, well, in the DSM-5, it's gender dysphoria that, so if they wanted to do some sort of like qualification to have a firearm that you can't have a mental health condition, well, it would disqualify trans people. So
right, because I was gonna say, I don't know if it's still like that, but I know up until a certain point that definitely was. I guess that's what you call it, dysphoria, right?
Like gender dysphoria is what it's called in the DSM-5. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's only like logical, man. It's only up until recently that they've been pushing it out there for it to be normal. So, I mean, along those same guys, you got to keep along those same guys because at this point they just switching over everything from, any kind of principles. It's like they're attacking any kind of moral anything.
Yeah, up is down, down is up. Well, okay,
that
sort of leads us into are it's all sort of one big topic, but our next topic, the attack on the nuclear family, you know, the husband and wife, kids,
Yeah.
family, that whole thing, and education, and how pervasive the whole LGBTQAIA LMNOP shamalama ding dong shit is. It's
Wait, there's an IA on the end of it now.
I think so, and a plus and a symbol and
Uh,
freaking yeah, I don't know, and
I
an
keep
at
laughing.
sign.
I keep
Yeah,
laughing about it. It's just crazy.
just start adding
It's real life
Monopoly
funny.
pieces. Yeah,
That's true.
it's always something new, but it's so pervasive in the school system. Like do we're about the same age. When I was a kid, like our parents had to sign permission slips for them to talk to us about sex education in like 5th or 6th grade. I remember.
Yeah,
And it was
you
like,
still do. I mean, to a certain extent, I guess. Like I know I still get permission slips from my kid's school. She's in middle school, so I
but
still get permission
it
slips
was
there.
but it was like a whole section in the class. Like it was the only time teachers ever talked about like the pee-pee, you know? It was like
Right,
the only time. It was the only time like sex and gender, like even gender, even like boys and girls, like
right.
and oh, you can switch back. Like, dude, how confusing would that be to a kid if you told a kid, like, oh yeah, you can switch back and forth between being a boy and a girl. And it's like if I'm thinking back to when I'm a little boy and I'm like, I'm gonna look
Yeah,
down at my dick and be like, I can? Like,
yeah.
where does it go?
It's
Like
like, but
it's so
you're putting that in their head at that. You know, these kids probably haven't even thought twice about it, and you know, you're putting it out
dude.
there, like, you
Yeah, they still think girls are
sick.
icky. Like they don't like
Yeah,
dude,
it's sick,
it's
man.
so that and then the attack on the nuclear family too. Like they don't want have you heard that term? The nuclear
What's that?
family?
Yeah, yeah. You know, man, woman, and child, right? The holy trinity to some people. The man, woman, and child, man. That's the nuclear family, right?
Yeah, well, it's like a buzzword now, you know, like
Yeah, but
they
it's just another attack. Cause so for in the 80s you had crack, right? That was an attack on the family. So I feel like they're just finding new ways to attack it, so to say. Because
well,
I know a lot of my generation grew up single mothers, right? Like a lot of my friends, we all
you
had
saying
single mothers in the house, right? So now, from what I see with all my friends who have kids and whatnot, a lot of fathers are in their kids' lives more than when we grew up. So I think I just look at all of this as another way to dismantle that.
wait, did you say that fathers are in their kids' lives more now than they were, or vice versa?
Yeah, I think more now than when I was growing up, for sure.
Are you talking about in general or within a
Just from what
specific
I know,
community?
from my community that I know and the people I grew up around, that's all I could speak to. I don't know about statistically and all that. You know, they got numbers for everything now.
I think statistically it's worse.
Oh
And
wow, yeah, that's
well, I
crazy.
mean,
But
then
I mean, that's good for my circle of people, but statistically, then that's horrible.
well, I mean, then it goes back into the whole, you know, flooding the streets with crack back in the 80s, and then
Right,
the
guns,
whole well, and what is it? Welfare for single mothers,
or
right? It
two,
almost
right?
encourages mothers not to have a husband because it's like you get married, all of a sudden your money goes away, you know. And it's like
Right.
the
Or
more kids you have,
I mean,
the more money
they used to do the welfare checks. They see any
they
sign of
still
a man in
do.
the house, and you're getting cut off.
Yeah, so I mean that there's that whole those two things were a huge attack on the nuclear family within the black community
Right.
was making single black mothers was with you know the whole and like there's this whole I guess I don't even know if you want to call it conspiracy theory because it's true. It's like the CIA flooding the streets with,
Yeah, that's true.
you know,
Yeah, that's
and
conspiracy
they're
at all.
back like then there is like legit racism to talk about, like shit that happened. What was it in Philly where they just like like lit a whole block on fire with people in it? Do you remember that? It was like a
That was the move organization they were called. I forgot what move stands for, but Yeah, they basically, yeah, they bombed their house, man. They bombed the house with kids in it and everything. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. Yeah, that happened in the late 90s or early 2000s.
Was it that? I thought that was in the 80s.
No, no, man. This was in the okay, not
Oh,
early 2000s. I'm wrong about that. This was in the I want this was in the 90s. I'm almost for sure. Like I wish
but
I
we
could
never hear about that
wish
shit,
I
you
could
know?
pull it up
Like
now.
there is it's so I guess the point I'm trying to make is there is like legit racism shit that happened that is important that we need to talk about, that we need to know about, like the Black Wall Street massacres. The what was the you know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah, yeah. In
what was it called though?
Black Wall Street. No, you're
Yeah, but
right.
they're called something. The race, I guess the something race riots or race massacres. They called it. Where was it? Tulsa, right?
Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa,
Yeah. So,
Oklahoma, right?
bro, I didn't learn about that shit until like 10 years ago. Like, why
Yeah.
didn't I learn about that in school? You know, like really,
That's
why didn't I learn about that? Why didn't I learn about Waco in school? What
what do you learn about in school, honestly?
the government object? Okay, like perfect into our what is education and what's the government's role into education segue right there. So, right, what do we learn in school? Whatever the government wants us to learn. They don't teach us how to think, right? They
yeah,
teach us what to think.
and their textbooks are always outdated, right? Like how long do textbooks stay in a school before they get switched out? So
Well, that's
it's
the
kind of
college scam, though.
right.
They make like a change of 3 words, and then they make everybody buy the new edition, so they can't buy used books. You ever seen that? They did that when I was in college. That was horrible.
I've heard of it. I've heard of that happening. That's
It was
crazy.
brutal. Yeah, it was brutal. It was how those
That's sick.
stupid authors kept making money. But
That's sick.
the the education system is absolutely broken, and with the pervasive nature of the LGBTQ crap and the gender crap, and you know the the so they say we don't teach critical race theory in schools, you know, and it's like, yeah, they don't teach it in the K through 12. They teach it in college. It's like, yeah, they practice it in K through 12. They teach you what it is in college. It's like they're
I
using it
feel,
to what's
so
that?
look, so break down the whole critical race theory because I every time I hear somebody explain it, it's confusing. Is hella confusing every time I hear it explained.
Like, what is critical race theory?
Yeah, yeah. Like, so what exactly are they teaching from that ideology?
It's teaching that there's a victim and a victim and an oppressor amongst everyone in society, and you're one or the other, you know. So like yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. That there's a victim and an oppressor, and well, you know who those victims and you know who the victims and you know who the
Right,
oppressors
right,
are.
right.
So immediately from a very early age, little white kids are taught that they're the oppressor. And it's like, what did I do? You know?
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, I get that, but that's like the sins of the father type thing, in my opinion, to a certain extent. Like it's hella generations removed, and like me, like me and you, for example, I can't look at you and be like, "Oh, you're a horrible person, Mike. Your bloodline is straight shit. It's
You say
trash."
that to me all the time, bro.
Like, I can't look at you and just honestly say that because, right, like that. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, but that's kind of like how
Sins of the
that's why
fathers.
it just truth matters at the end of the day, right? Like truth matters, and that's what should be taught in school because you get to the whole race thing and you get to the whole, like you said, white kids are growing up thinking that they're the villain, they're the bad guy. But in the same breath, there's just like there was white slave owners, there was black slave owners. But we don't learn about that either. I didn't learn about that older and was reading for myself, like, wait, what? Like I have family from Virginia. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they own slaves, but Virginia was the first state to have to abolish, like, okay, blacks can't own whites because y'all owning too many of them. And that was a law that was a law that happened in the 1600s.
Well, there was black men that were bounty hunters for escaped slaves. Like black
Oh,
men that would go hunt down escaped slaves and bring them back.
all
Like
that,
how
right?
messed up How messed up you got to be to do that,
Do that, right? I mean,
dude?
everybody's out for self, right?
Yeah, it's like he walks up on you and you're just like, oh, okay. And then he's like,
Like,
all
what's
of a
up,
sudden, he's
bro?
like,
I'm taking
you're
you
like,
in.
bro.
What do you mean? I know you, bro. I thought you was bro. I
Yeah.
thought you was bro. No, that's a real thing, though. And I think, I mean, just in my opinion, like that should be taught from a young age. If you're gonna speak on slavery, like, yeah, speak on it from a stance of what really happened, and that's I think that the whole school system, I think just the people in general have all forgotten like what happened though, really. Like there's been so many lies, so many cover-ups
Well,
that
the Department of Education, it's government. It's the problem with the government. It's not just slavery. It's not that like they don't want to teach about slavery for racist reasons or whatever. They don't want to teach about the bad things that the government's done. Like, did you learn when you learned about Vietnam? Did you learn about the freaking Gulf of Tonkin?
no, I didn't, man. I didn't look into Vietnam till I was older, really. Like I just knew Vietnam was like a horrible time. People who were in Vietnam, it was like, whoa, you were in Vietnam, you went to Nam and all that. But as far as like the hows, whys, and the whats, like
Well,
later.
the Gulf. You know about the Gulf of Tonkin?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably the most important detail about the whole damn
Right.
thing. It was like, oh, it didn't happen. It was a
For sure.
lie. So we had no business ever going there.
Never should have been over there, right?
It's
But
like, okay, got it now.
but
It's
that's
like
what
what?
but that's what happens, right? For a lot of wars that we've taken place in is built on a lot of lies. You got to have a reason to go in somewhere.
Oh, don't even get me started there. Well, don't even get like.
I mean, you got to have reasons to go in somewhere, right? Just like Saddam with the mass weapons of, you got to have a reason to go in somewhere, and you throw that reason out there, and boom, that's people eat it up.
Yeah, yeah, and you get
Media,
phrases like,
media's a motherfucker, man.
well, you'll get phrases thrown around like, "We need a new Pearl Harbor." Remember that phrase being thrown around before
I,
9/11?
I don't remember nobody saying a new Pearl Harbor. That's wild.
That was Bush saying that shit before 9/11, talking
That's
about.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bush is scarred from all the stuff he done, man.
yeah.
That's
So like
why
then,
he's still calling Ukraine. He's still calling Ukraine Iraq, getting it all mixed up.
who
Bush, yeah, yeah, you haven't seen them clips? He's
you
talking.
talking about, Bush or Biden?
Nah, Bush. Bush was talking about Ukraine. He accidentally said Iraq.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like yeah, that's some scar tissue.
He's such a criminal, man. And that's the problem too with like all the people that are called far right extremists today that are my age. It's like that we all grew up being, super anti-Bush, super anti that war, freaking 9/11 conspiracy theorists, like
That was a horrible time. 9/11 was a horrible time.
well, and Occupy Wall Street, like that whole movement too. There's like the right and the left wasn't so freaking divided back then because it wasn't even like known. Like people couldn't even really tell you if they were on the right and the left. There was people that were just anti-establishment. They're like, I don't like the government. I don't care what your personal feelings or leanings are, but like, oh, you don't like the government either? Let's be friends.
Yeah, I can remember that. I can remember that too. Even like, just like even in music, right? Like you didn't hear like it wasn't separated, and Public Enemies talking about fight the power, like they weren't talking Republican or Democrat. It was fight the system,
Power, yeah.
yeah,
The Uniparty. And
yeah.
And yeah, the divide and conquer is working great right now. It is working great. Society's on the brink of civil war, and it's like we're all fighting each other when we look what they're doing.
But
they've broken.
It's happening. So it's happening at every level. It's happening within race. It's happening within genders. It's happening within. I wouldn't so much say religion right now, but it's like it's happening on all fronts. For sure, race. For sure, genders, between what you identify as, between man and woman. You got the whole strong, independent woman thing. That's a big thing right now. Like that, all that talk, like everybody.
But then
like,
trans women are women.
Right?
So they're doing that at the same time. But yeah, you're right. And class too. Like they don't want people the evil rich people, the evil capitalists, you know. So like they
Yeah.
don't want us poors to envy Elon Musk, you know, like the rich guy. We're supposed to hate him because he's a rich guy and he built a bunch of amazing things. Well, he got government subsidies. Okay. Like,
Yeah, you can't. You got to form your own opinions, man. But media is crazy, man. Media is like they push so much of that, so much propaganda out there that it's people eat it up. Like everybody's not strong enough to, to do their own homework and whatnot.
well, it's so much work. I mean, like, look how much work it is just to. I mean, even to be what are you looking at your piano?
Nah, you see that? You like that back there? I paid a grip for that, man. Do you play? Hey, look, do you play?
No edge, like chopsticks.
No, my daughter's trying to bust in the room right now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
That's,
it's been too long. She's a
why
Daisy.
haven't you? Have you pulled her out of public school yet?
Nah, she's so my oldest, my teen, she's in public school, and then my youngest, she's in daycare. So
Have they
that's
have
not
your
really
have they tried to tell her that she can be a boy yet?
what the teen. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Pretty sure, but she's grounded. She's grounded in those principles.
Yeah. So like on that note, I think a lot of it is like so the right is really freaking out about all the stuff that we were just talking about, how pervasive it is in school and how they're attacking the kids. I don't know if kids are getting enough credit for like having a bullshit detector, you know, like that weird, like, remember when you were back in school and that weird teacher told you some weird shit and you're like, that doesn't sound right, you know? Like,
Yeah, but a lot of kids, but I feel like a lot of kids don't have that because if they did, then it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like there
I was
was
trying to
so
be
look,
hopeful.
because there was always just like me and my wife were talking too about it a few times. Like there was always that one kid that you knew, like, oh, he about to be gay. He was hella feminine, but it was only like one kid. You know what I mean? It was like that
Yeah.
one kid, but now they got a whole school. Like, for example, I used to pick my daughter up. She was in elementary in like fourth grade, and there's a little kid in third, fourth. Couldn't have been no older than third grade, no younger than third, no older than fifth, and he's wearing dresses to school already. Like that would have never happened when I was in school. Like the kid might have been feminine, but he wasn't wearing dresses to school yet. Like that's a whole different something.
Well, bro, it's so much worse than that. It's with the whole, and they're calling it like, remember when we were kids, like if trans people, it was called a sex change operation, and we used to joke
Right.
with each
Yeah.
other. It was like, oh, I gotta go to I got a surgery coming up. Oh, you finally getting that sex change surgery done? It was always that joke, you know. It's like
Yeah,
we said that
yeah,
shit, and now it's gender affirming care, and that's not a funny joke. So next time my friend says he's going in for surgery, I was like, oh, you finally going in for that gender affirming care? Actually, that would be funny.
yeah. Right. I still would laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still would laugh.
Actually, I think that might even be funny. I am gonna do that. Damn it.
No, but my point too was just that though. I don't like you would hope like kids have they got that bullshit meter to a certain extent because again like a lot of it in a lot of places you go to it's they're pushing it so much to where they're making the kids feel like they have to accept it, and I feel like that's how it's being taught. It's not being taught as what
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not being taught as people are different, let people choose to do, what I mean, like that's how I look at it. Like you do you feel you choose to do that, but don't make me have to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
don't make me look at this 6'8" dude in a dress and call them a female. You know what I mean? Like you're not about to like you playing with my mind at now. Like come on now.
well, 6'8" dude used to
Like
be
come
named
on, bro.
freaking Tyrone.
Like,
Yeah. Super deep voice. It's ma'am.
Dude look like Terry Crews in a dress, but I gotta call him ma'am. Like
I bet you Terry Crews has been in a dress at some point though.
I think he has, man.
Actually, I can almost guarantee he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but here to prove your point though. So we're talking about how it's forced on kids and it's like they have to accept it. Well, so like it's 100% true, because if you were a teacher and you were trying to teach the other thing, like, no, there's boys and there's girls, and you're born one or the other. There's very rare people that are intersex, that are born with both sets of genitalia, but those cases are very rare. There are people that have what's called gender dysphoria, and they feel that they are the opposite sex than what they were born with, and sometimes they like to dress.
But if you were to call it dysphoria right now, that's already looking like incriminating. Or
this is my point. This is my whole point. That teacher would be fucking fired.
But I don't think they should even have to bring it up. I don't think that.
Right. It should be taught in school.
I don't think it's the teacher's place to have to bring that up. You know what I mean? Like teach the kids. Okay, so we kind of skip past that, even talking about education, right? So like, what is education? What should they be taught in school?
How to think, not what to think. Like, that's it. Like, that's what education should be.
Yeah, because that's indoctrination, right? When you say what to think, it's not education anymore, it's indoctrination.
Well, right. And kids are taught what to think. Oh, you can be the opposite sex than what you were born. Like, that's the definition of teaching somebody what to think. It's like, not only is it not true, you're force feeding the kids some bullshit, and you're confusing the fuck out of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't even have kids. So like, dude, this is something that I ran into when I was coaching Little League a couple years ago. Like, I got asked to coach Little League, and I grew up playing baseball. I played baseball for a very long time, and played at a fairly high level, and not super high level, but high enough to learn a lot of stuff. And it's like a bunch of knowledge that I have sitting around that I'm just doing nothing with, and it sounded fun. And Little League majors when I was 12 years old was actually one of the funnest years of my life. It was great, and I loved it. But there's just like, parents are fucking insane. Like, something happens to you people when you have kids that, like, the triggered, like, nature of parents, like the overprotective, like, the parents have been indoctrinated more than the kids have, and like, we're talking about the whole gender thing, but I'm more like, this is in the thick of COVID that I was coaching this Little League team.
Yeah, I remember when you was coaching it.
Do you remember when it all came to a head over the masks on an 85-degree day, and the umpire was flipping his shit, walking out onto the field, telling all the players to put their, like, he walked straight out to my shortstop.
He told me about that.
Bro, my shortstop kept dropping his mask down below his nose, and the umpire just would stop the game and walk straight out and make sure everybody had their mask over their nose on the field. Like, chill out, man. Yeah, bro. And dude, there's just, like, I'm getting triggered right now because there's just so many things, like,
and they're outdoors at that. Like, what are you?
You're outdoors. It's not even transmitted outdoors. It's a super hot day. Sun apparently kills the shit. Like, the masks don't work. First of all, the kids don't even aren't susceptible to getting super sick from COVID. Like, what are we doing? And then there was like,
the kids wasn't even caring one way or another. Like, it wasn't high on the kids.
But then there was parents, like, getting mad at me for getting mad at the umpire, and I'm the one sticking up for the damn kids. And I'm like, why are you not sticking up for your kids? I don't have any kids. Take your damn kids home. It was just, like, I don't have kids. What has happened to you people? Like, what is wrong for you people? Why am I the one sticking up for your kids? Like,
you gotta have a scapegoat, man. You were the scapegoat.
I talk shit right back. Like, no, I'm not.
As you should, coach or not.
Let's just say I'm not coaching Little League anymore.
Nah, man, you got to get back into it. I know, dude, it's just during the times that you did it that's what made it not fun.
Yeah, it sucks. There was, like, dude, our team sucked so bad. Like, these kids, it was bad. Well, it was a year where they didn't play for a whole year too, So, like, they came back and everybody was rusty, but they weren't really that talented.
Everybody had a hole in their glove.
Everybody, bro, and in their bat. Like, it was bad.
Bears, huh?
It was bad. But by the end of the season, man, like, they were working together. We'd learned things. Like, I had them doing drills. I taught them stuff. And yeah, like, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. But
for sure. Sports is always fun until you get those parents living through their kid that wants to tell you how and where to play their kid and all that.
Yeah. All right. Well, We could talk about we could have a whole show on the education thing, and the I think the only solution that I see is homeschool, not even private school, because like a lot of this crap's going on in private schools too.
But
So
the only problem I have with homeschool is it takes away from the social life of the child though a lot.
bro,
There's a
you
lot.
want your kids being socialized with these weirdos in California right now? Like, really?
I mean,
Coming
it
home
depends
with
on the group of friends they have. I mean, it's hard. Like it's hard. But kids nowadays ain't the same as us, right? Like when we were kids, we go outside and find people, right? You go outside and bump into a friend and y'all kicking it for a day. Nowadays,
yeah, that's fair.
kids don't
They
link up
only see each other at school.
for a lot for the majority. Yeah, the majority for sure. That's what I noticed with my daughter.
I
Like,
can
man,
see that,
like call up a friend, go do something. You know, go hang out.
bro. Let me jump
They'll
over
sit in
to
the house and
Rumble.
text each other all day.
Let me see if I could see the chat on Rumble. I don't know how to check the chat on Rumble. I need to talk to Paul.
Freshen up your skills, man.
I could see the chat. I can only see the YouTube chats, but yeah, there's a few of them. Hello, unknown person. Was the shooter on meds? Has that been released? Many of the shooters on meds, and this somehow
Hey, I
always
have
get
seen that too about a lot of the shooters being on the meds. They've been trying to correlate that.
You know what else a lot of the shooters have been on? The FBI. Bro, like
that's not funny.
why?
But yeah, no, that's crazy.
Bro, why are so many of these shooters like it comes out a week later? There's the meme. There's the Bart Simpson meme. Go ahead and say it. The shooter was previously known to the FBI. Like
crazy.
It's like I'm waiting. I'm wondering if that's why they haven't released the manifesto, because it turns out she was talking to some undercover Fed boy the whole time.
Wow,
like
that's mind blowing though, for real.
Dude, yeah. Man, I don't know how to see the Rumble chats. I really need to figure this out. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, no, I'll have to ask Paul later. All right, I do want to talk to you about the freaking AI crap that's going on.
Oh like man, it's wild. They got so much coming out, much that they're working on. Some of it's scary. I love technology, man, but some of it's down. Like
some of it's scary. Like all of it's scary. Yeah. The image I used for tonight's show was an AI generated image, and it came out freaking awesome. So I used it. All right, so you've been looking at like the Chat GPT crap. Is that what it is? Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. Yeah, I know a little bit about it. Like I'm to the scale that what it can do is beyond me though, for sure. But as far as just even like, so the first time I heard about it, they were talking about like, you know, the guy was talking about how he hates emailing, right? So he was like, with Chat GPT, it'll email for you. You know what I mean? It gives response to the email like he was. Oh, it's like personable. It's not like an automated generated email that sends out to everybody the same shit. It's like it's individually to each email. Like that was just crazy.
Yeah, so I think there's people using this shit. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know too much about it besides that much.
Well, I'm about to out myself right now. I think there's people using it to build Tinder profiles.
Oh, probably.
Bro, you can always tell. They're always super weird. It's like a long ass sentence, and it's like, "Hi, I was born for love, and I like yoga to do hot surfing with you, love. Sometimes, thank you."
Like, where are you from? But they're American, talking like they're Russian or something.
Yeah, it's super bizarre, dude. Yeah, and it's always but it's always a smoking hot chick with like 2 photos.
A straight bot.
Yeah, so I've heard, because
straight bot. Because because you're not scrolling through there.
Of course not.
Hella funny. But I've seen that. Well, what about the whole Oh, that's not part of Chat GPT. Is it the
Well, any of the AI stuff. The Chat GPT stuff's just scary because they're talking about escaping. Like if you
but the
ask it
voice
shit,
but the voice imitation thing they got going on, where they like
that was
making
good.
songs as different singers and rappers, like that's crazy.
Well, there's a funny ass one of well, they can do it with video too, like the deep fake one, like all the
Oh, I
different
ain't
deep
seen
fake
that.
videos. There's
Oh,
ones that Ben Shapiro. I sent you a few Ben Shapiro videos.
yeah, yeah.
There's one with Ben Shapiro talking about AOC, talking about sniffing her booty, and oh, it's just fucking, it's hilarious.
Oh, wait, I think you
It's
sent me that. Yeah, I think you sent me that. Hella stupid.
oh yeah, I did send it. I would be obliged to sniff her booty. It was like,
Hella stupid. It's crazy, man. Like, so what do you do as an artist though? At that point, you're like, pretty soon you're gonna hear a song on the radio that had nothing to do with the artist that you think it is.
well,
Like,
art too, any art, right? Because they're doing the AI art. Like that's what this that's what the, like I said, the picture for tonight's show. That's AI generated art.
oh, it's crazy. I mean, it's a scary time to be an artist, kind of too. At the like,
They can't do hands though. If you look at any of the pictures, any of the AI generated shit, if there's a person in it, look at the hands. The hands are always fucked up.
why is that?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Because they can't. Because they don't. AI can't pick anything up. They don't have opposable thumbs, so they don't know how they're supposed to look. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, but it's so if you're an artist, you're an artist, you hear a song that's not you, you know it's not you, but it's taking off. You taking credit for it?
That's a good point. There's got to be a way that they're going to be able to, like, some sort of encoding, some sort of encryption that people are going to have to do to like authenticate their own footage. You know, like people like Joe Rogan. Like there's already tons of deepfakes of Joe Rogan. Some fucking hilarious. You could just chop up. You could just chop up footage of Joe Rogan and make him say all sorts of shit, and it sounds like he's really saying it. And it's like
that's
some of it's so funny, dude. Like the him and Alex Jones ones are the best. Like they just make him say the most off the wall shit. It's so funny. Well, Alex Jones already says the most off the wall shit, so you just take that, and it's just. But yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? Like we're entering into a whole. It's like you said, it's all happening at the same time too. All of this shit, like AI is coming to, what do they call it? Not the event horizon. What do they call it? The singularity. When AI becomes self-aware. Like we're coming to that point really soon. We're coming to
like potential nuclear type shit.
Well, okay, so just think about the AI singularity and potential nuclear war at the same time. Meanwhile, chicks think they're dudes, dudes think they're chicks. Everybody's on drugs. Everybody's on psychotropic drugs everywhere you go. Freaking kids have been covering their faces for the last few years. So they're just even more socially awkward than ever. Like
hella awkward, yeah.
Everything's upside down. Everything's backwards. But like everybody here in California, nobody wants to talk about it either.
You gotta find your footing. People gotta find their footing, man. But
what does that mean? What is that? Is that a fortune cookie?
That was my Yoda. That was.
What does that mean? You find your footing,
find
you
your
will.
footing in the universe.
No, that was horrible. Do not ever do
horrible. That was a horrible attempt, bro.
Footing you must find.
There you go. Look, you probably got the little figurehead sitting on your desk right now.
Shut up, Justin. Don't ever tell me white people don't have culture.
Hey, y'all started the crate challenge, probably.
The what?
You remember the crate challenge?
No. Oh, the one they try to walk over it? Oh, dude, people were breaking their backs. Oh my God. Shit was hilarious. Why would you do that?
You tell me. Y'all started it.
Yeah, right. Why was it always like heavy black men that I saw falling?
Because y'all dropped the crates off in all their neighborhoods.
No, it's because black men are mean to each other, and they're like, okay, let's pick on the fat guy. I guess that's just men, isn't it?
Hey, but it was
like, hey, let's try to get the fat guy to walk over it.
It was hella funny watching people fall off them crates, though.
It wasn't though, because dude, there was people that would they would like scorpion, man. It was like right in the middle of their back. It was awful.
Fucking themselves up.
I'm surprised nobody got paralyzed. We were talking about AI, Justin. How are we talking about the crate challenge now?
What the fuck does a crate have to do with AI? Nothing.
Well, so Elon Musk has been warning about this shit forever. Oh, and on that note, he just freed the code for Twitter. I don't know if you knew about. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. That's far. Wait, you just
So
I
he
heard it here
made he made the Twitter code open source. It's public like information now.
Oh wow.
What does that mean? I don't freaking know. I'm not a coder, but apparently it means
Really has implications or something.
well. So, dude, I'm not qualified to talk about this, but like Linux software is open source software that like anybody can use, and there's like I guess you could use like bits and pieces of it and like plug it in where you need code, but you can like find mistakes that are within it because it's open source. Anybody can use it, and they'll be like, oh well, this is a better way of doing like this segment of code or something, and they can fix it. So now that Twitter's code is out there, like think about the resources Elon Musk would have to deploy to find all the mistakes within Twitter, especially with all of the fucking FBI collusion and like algorithms that are because there's tons of code that's still left in there fucking with people, that he like it's still in there. You can't find it. So like if you freeze the code, bro, he just made it so like the world's gonna fix all that shit for him. It's genius, if you ask me.
It also could be him like, putting it out there so it's like, hey, you can't put it on me type of shit. Like it's like you can't put it on me.
You already couldn't put it on him. Like all the information he's released. Have you been following the Twitter files?
Yeah, that's real too. He's been putting out hella shit. Yeah, that's for sure.
Like
putting out a lot of shit.
And I think you could probably tell how old some code is. So it's like if it was put in before he got there. It's not like Elon's going in there and personally writing code. I would doubt, but
right.
Yeah. So. But Elon's been like the biggest guy warning about the whole AI shit, and it's just been like it seems like the last few months has they say the term gradually and then suddenly.
Yeah.
So I remember a few
right. There's no way to kind of like how do you get a hold on technology really? Like that's kind of
especially this because now it's teaching itself. So the first time stuff like this started worrying me, I think it was Google. It was either Google or Facebook that had some computer where the computer started talking to each other. They created their own language and they started talking to each other and nobody knew what they were saying and nobody was going on. They literally had like shut that shit down.
Damn.
Yeah. This is a few years ago too.
We're like Terminator, like Matrix type shit.
Skynet. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. F that, bro. Like, yeah. I almost want war with the machines though, because I won't like, bro. And no guilt. Like, I will light them up.
Machines gonna put all your business out there.
All right, bro. Man, you know how much my life has changed. My business is kind of all the way out there now. Like
hey man, ain't that crazy though? From how like what a month ago?
It's been like 6 weeks now, but bro. Yeah, insane.
Hey man, shit happens for a reason, man. I mean, that's cliche, but it's true.
No, it's like, well, you're a man of faith.
Not that it just happens for a reason, but it's more like what you do with what happens, Like shit's gonna happen. So it's kind of like what you do with it.
Yeah, I believe challenges are put in front of you for a reason, and it's almost like a test, like, okay, let's see what you do with this. And if you pass the test, you get rewarded, maybe. I don't know. Like, wow. I don't even know if you want to say this is rewarded because shit's scary, like I'm not, I still gotta pay the bills, but this is, this is definitely turning into something different. And it's like something I've been wanting, bro. How many years have I been telling you that we go to start
trying to do this out here?
We're gonna start live streaming, just having conversations.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Like, brother, I've been trying to do this shit for a long time.
Well, bro, I'm not good at this stuff either. So, not the talking part. I could talk to you for hours, but the setting up all this crap and getting everything set up just so I could actually click a button and say go live, bro, that was hard. That was hard for me. That was like weeks worth of work just to get that to happen.
Hey, baby, once you get it, you're going with it. That's all it takes. All it takes just to start. You gotta put your foot down somewhere, get started, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. All right, last thing I just kind of want to talk to you about is freaking Trump, bro. got indicted.
He got indicted. He's a hero now.
Is he? Is that how you're viewing it?
That's how it's. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not my hero. Okay,
Yeah, no, you said it.
but but in a sense, it's that's how it's gonna come off to a lot of people though. Like more than just the supporters he's already had. I feel like they're giving them. It's gonna backfire. I think you know what I mean. I think it's gonna backfire. At least it's gonna be some form of backfire to it. More than what they are expecting.
Yeah, and I think they know this though. So I think there's another
So?
play. Yeah, I think there's another play. There has to be. It's so obvious, bro. Like the optics are
Yeah,
horrible.
because it's like you're trying to but they've been trying to criminalize him for so long, which I never got the idea that okay, he's out of
That's the
office.
point.
Why are you still trying to criminalize him so bad? And then
that's what I'm saying. That's what I think they're trying to set up. They don't want him to run again. They're doing everything they can so he can't run again. So I think this is some sort of play where if they indict him and they arrest him, they're trying to set it up to make it say like, look, nope, it's illegal for him to run, you know, and like keep him off the ballot somehow.
Yeah, but I mean,
they want that photo op too. They want that handcuff picture of him walking away, you know.
could we get a mugshot?
Dude, thank you. Like, dude, this really is insane. Like,
nah, facts.
You can't put him in jail, obviously. Like, put him in Gen Pop is like Secret Service has to go with them everywhere. He doesn't put them in there too.
He'll be some kind of solitary. Like he for sure wouldn't be in general pop.
Well, it's just, dude, this like tiny crime that they're upgrading from a misdemeanor to a felony to go after him, while all of the other shit that the Biden crime family is.
I was gonna say, yeah, in my opinion, you can't lock him up for nothing, man. I mean, how many dirty politicians are there out there? Like,
well,
go after them all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna like? Like, how do you just pick and choose who you're going after when you're going? So now, like any politician, they're gonna be trying to lock up for whatever dirty deeds you could dig up on them.
Well, you just go back to the Hillary shit. So like, there's all the Hillary emails, server shit, and the big giant. Well, so there's the big giant investigation, and at the end of it, Comey comes out and she was like, "Yes, she absolutely broke the law, but I would not recommend that the DA prosecutes her or whatever, district or the attorney general or whoever goes out. He says she breaks the law, and then it says we shouldn't prosecute, and then this whole thing with Trump. And then everybody's running around saying nobody's about the law. Nobody's about the law. Like, fuck what? No. Like, when did this happen? Like, did you not see? Like, look at all the crimes that Hunter Biden's guilty of on the computer, and like, you're at the same time you're saying nobody's above the law.
Nobody's above the law. Clearly people are above the law. Clearly, clearly, man. That's always been made plain if you got eyes,
bro. Like, didn't Alec Baldwin just shoot some chick in the neck? Like, how long did that? Like, how long did it take him to even charge the guy? You know, with anything? Like, yeah, if you got money, you are above the law. The more money, the more above you are.
Any kind you accidentally shoot somebody and you're going down, go prove your innocence,
bro.
Like, go prove your innocence. I mean, that's what the system is. Is that guilty and innocence of proven guilty has never been a thing. Like, that's never been a thing.
Yeah.
Unless you got the money.
Yeah. Well, do you got anything more on the Trump indictment? I mean, I guess
nah.
I think it solidifies his candidacy or his GOP spot. You know, like he will be, but it's too far out from the main election for it to say like, yeah, that he's gonna make it now.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is that he's gonna get more support from the public. You know what I mean? From
do you think people that didn't support him before will support him now?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know how big, of course, you know how big those numbers would be, but there's definitely going to be that, you know, that influx of people now.
the circles that you travel in, what is the sentiment towards Trump? How has it gone from like over the years? Has it changed with any like the people that you know? Has it gone from like I hate Trump to like, you know what, I kind of want him back?
I like that political ass question. You mean how do my black friends feel about Trump?
Yes. How do your black friends?
My
No. Not how do your black friends feel about Trump? Have your black friends' opinions changed on Trump over the years?
No,
Since you
everybody
got
feels
some
the
white
same
friends, you
so
got some
far.
token white friends, or am I the token white friend?
You're my token right now, man.
I'm the only one.
You're my token. Yeah. I mean,
Man, don't make it sound gay,
nah,
dude.
literally, yeah, you're my token guy, bro.
Stop saying that. It's gay.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, man. Hey, I got one of those stories, bro. Like one of my best friends was white.
You
But
do.
even before you, one of my best friends was white. He died in high school though. Rest in peace. But yeah, one of my best friends was old. I had a white friend always, so I had to find another one. So I replaced him with you.
You really, bro. That
Uh, no, but
that is
seriously,
that
everybody.
really that put a damp. Oh man, that like genuinely made me sad right now.
Yeah,
I'm.
one of my best friends, man, in high school, man. His name was Jeremy. Yeah,
What happened?
he died. He got killed at a party. He got shot at a party, man. Died. It's,
Damn.
it's like it's a story that it's like so I got so many friends like that happened to during those times in high school, just going out partying, having fun, people beefing, escalates, and then somebody's dying. That's a
Damn.
story that's happened way too often. But yeah, unfortunately, he was like somebody I lost like at the youngest age. We were like 17, 16, 17. We were still in high school, like not fresh out of high school. Like we were still in high school when it happened. So yeah, that was a hard
It's
loss.
mostly, but you're saying there's like a lot of there's like actual gun violence.
Yeah, in high school, that's about the time I started seeing gun violence more. It was like towards the end of my high school years, junior year, senior year, and then right after. Yeah, that's when a lot of people were dying in Oakland. This was like oh 05, so between like 03 to 08 in Oakland was, I mean, it's still bad, right? But between like 03 and 08, I don't keep track too much, you know. I'm older now, of course, but if you were to go back and look at some of those ages around those years, those 5 years from like 03 to 08, there were some youngsters, man. They're like real young.
Oh yeah, and Richmond too back then was super bad.
Richmond too. Well, Richmond is a crazy city because it's so small. So it's like if 15 people die, that's a big thing. Like it's a small city, but 15 people, 20 people die, it's like, oh shit. Like what's going on?
Yeah,
But
Richmond's wild, man. Like even it's so small and like I think I was working yeah, it was '07 or '08. Yeah, it was '08. I was working in Emeryville back then. So
uh
I was like I was working at people's houses, you know, doing residential. So I was like driving through Richmond all the time. And it's such like it's such a small area, but the crime's so bad that it's just like you just driving through there. You're like,
you see what's going on. I haven't heard a lot about Richmond lately in the news, so it
yeah,
seems to have
yeah,
calmed
that's
down
good.
a lot.
It's a beautiful area, like where it's located, you know, like 'cause you
Yeah,
got all those hills right there and they overlook the bay and yeah,
right.
but you'd think it'd be like a well-to-do area, but Oakland too, man. Oakland's gone just so far downhill. It sucks. Oakland's a beautiful city. You know, I
Yeah,
grew up going there.
they're trying to redo it, gentrify it, whatever you want to call it. Like they've built a lot of stuff, moved a lot of people out, and all that. So it's unfortunate that with that, you know, comes the whole gentrification thing.
Bro,
But even
I got my car towed one time. Man, I was riding
was it
dirty
Oakland?
back in like no, this is a long time ago. This was back in
Uh,
like '07. But I was it was when I was working in Emeryville, and I was riding dirty like with the expired registration, like no insurance or something like that. And I got pulled over, and they straight towed my car, man. And I had to like go get all the stuff squared away before I could go get it out of impound. And the impound, dude, it was like over behind the Oakland Coliseum. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah. I know
bro,
exactly. Yeah, I've got told there before.
bro,
I've
straight
got
hood,
told there before.
straight hood. And I'm living in Castro Valley at the time, so I take Bart there. I take Bart. I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 24, 25. I take Bart there, and I got my skateboard. I'm like tall, lanky ass white guy with glasses. And I get off BART and I like the street that the freaking impound place is on. Bro, I turn right onto the street and I'm skateboarding. I come around the corner. There's like 50 black dudes banging wheelies on the ATVs, like the four-wheel motorcycles.
Yeah, all the big dirt bikes and all that.
Bro, and I seriously, like one dude comes down right in front of me and like just stops. And I literally go, hey, dude. Like, that was my response.
Like a fucking TV show.
Just hella dorky. Just like, I'm like terrified, bro. And I had like I think I had like $1,200 in my pocket, because I had to like go
get my car out.
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
you said it like it was your one line in the movie,
dude. Yeah, it was so.
If you were to go to that same place now, is the homeless population over there is crazy. So. Like all along those railroad tracks, it's ridiculous. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, they got tents set up all up and down those railroad tracks on that street.
Emeryville too.
Crazy.
Under all those overpasses. Yeah, it's super bad over there. I haven't been to Oakland in like a year, so I will be going there soon. There's a libertarian convention you should go to. You want to go, buddy?
It's a what?
A libertarian convention.
Are you trying to put a label on me, sir?
Yes, you want to come hang out with a bunch of dorky white autistic people?
Hey, I'll go kick it wherever, man. I'll get in where I fit in.
Bro, you'll like it.
I'm always down for some conversations.
You like me? I'm dorky. Dude. It's a lot of people like me. Fiery, funny weirdos.
It's got to be real, man. As long as you're a real person, man, let's kick it.
I'm definitely real.
Keep it real.
This will probably get taken down from YouTube though.
I'm
sure we said something that'll piss off Raj. Here they got a new owner now. It's not owner CEO. It's not what's her name? Wiki Susan Wiki.
Susan Wiki.
She's not the lady anymore. It's that Raj guy.
Oh wow.
Hopefully Raj is cooler.
We'll see. Yeah. I'm gonna share it out before. I think you got at least a couple days.
Well, so get your StreamYard set up if you can. That way you can go live to your channel at the same time. Yeah, it'd be cool if we want to do this like every week. That'd be cool. And yeah, like we get better too because like we get sidetracked. We get sidetracked super easily.
It was some good segues too, though. But no, for sure.
There was like all of that. Education, nuclear family. We didn't even really get into the sexualization of kids stuff.
Yeah, I think we can circle back again. I mean, that's how every time I talk to you, that's how our combos go. It's like we try and get so much out there at one time. It's like, wait, what the fuck was we just talking about, or what did you just ask me before that?
Yeah, well,
conversations always go like that.
It helps when I have notes in front of me, though, so that's good. But yeah, there's still so much that we didn't get to. Like, there's a whole bunch that we didn't get to that I like seriously want to talk to you. I had a whole board of crap next to me that I want to talk to you. Like the TikTok ban. You see the roof collapse at the Apollo Theater last night?
No, I didn't see that. What,
bro? Shit's bad. Yeah, like during a concert, bro, roof collapsed. Yeah, I don't know how many people died.
There too. Yeah,
one person dead, 28 injured. Andrew Tate got out. Andrew Tate and his brother.
Wow.
California wants to ban Skittles. Hope you don't like Skittles. California wants to ban them.
I don't eat Skittles, but why do they want to ban them?
Hey, you ever pooped in a cat box?
No, you're disgusting if you say you have.
What, bro?
Anybody who's ever done that, like you're scum.
That's a huge almond roca.
You're scum. You couldn't make it to the toilet, or what? The toilet was too far?
No, bro.
Had a blowout.
Dude, I put a poll out on Twitter too. Have you ever pooped in a freaking cat box? 88% of people have not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like one person who has. Like,
yeah, I was super wasted at my buddy's house, and his cat box was right next to his toilet. And naturally, I was pooping on his toilet, and I decided, well, if I just kind of shimmy over a little, well,
you got a mid-turn. Yeah, you're sick.
It was bad. Yeah, and then I forgot that I did it, and then his wife discovered it.
That's disgusting. You're horrible. That's
Yeah.
horrible, bro.
Comes up every Thanksgiving.
Oh wow, that's when it was. It was during Thanksgiving.
No. We just talk about it every Thanksgiving. It's
Oh,
like a
well, I was
tradition.
gonna say you're even sicker. You left Thanksgiving and his kid everybody his litter.
See, it's good I quit drinking. Oh,
Oh,
crap. It's April, isn't it?
it's April.
I don't know the day, but sometime in April is 5 years since I've quit drinking alcohol.
That's what's up. Congrats. That's
Thanks,
big.
man. Thanks.
Nah, that is big.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
big.
let's cut it there. Yeah, if you're down, I'm down to do this every Saturday at 7. If you're
Let's do it. Let's do it. Good time to cut it because I can break my fast now.
all right,
Happy
cool.
Ramadan to all those doing Ramadan with me.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm glad. I hope your Ramadan is going well.
For sure, for sure. I appreciate you inviting me, man. The convo was good. I like it.
Our conversations are always good, man. You're seriously one of
facts.
my closest friends, dude. So like, yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna end the stream. Don't go anywhere, Justin. We'll chat a little bit after. But
Yeah.
dude, thank you guys so much for joining me. I think my mom's watching and she just put a poop emoji.
Shout out to Mama Oxford.
Yeah, she's awesome. You'd love her. Shelly, I love you. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Over on Rumble, if you guys chatted, I am really sorry. I suck. I don't know how to check the chats. I will get with Paul and I'll try to have this figured out next weekend. But thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna end it there. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.